Let's go to Mark in Florida. Thanks for holding. We'll go to Chad and others. Go ahead. Thanks for holding, Mark. What's your take on the open funding of al-Qaeda, mass graves now, killing every Christian they get their hands on? This is the liberation of Obama.
Well, it's terrible, and I feel real bad for those people, and the globalists have created a terrible situation that there's really no way out of. There's no good options. They've screwed up so bad. I mean, if we don't do anything, I mean, you're going to have Iran, you know, Hezbollah. Iraq is going to have to call on Iran, Hezbollah, all the Shiites to try to take out the Sunnis. If we do get involved, they'll just flee to some other country, Syria or Libya, which are now, the central governments have no power.
And who allowed them to regroup? Who allowed them to regroup in Libya and in Syria? Who allowed them to regroup?
Well, the Obama administration, they took out Gaddafi. They want to take out Bashar al-Assad, and it's just ridiculous. It's crazy, and there's just no way out of the situation. I'm real depressed about it.
I am too, because if our government can get away with this, I mean, does anybody feel safe having a government like this?
Well, not at all. And then you have Democrats attacking the Bush administration, saying, see, look what Bush did. It's all Bush's fault. Well, look, I'm not turning in my guns, and I don't support high taxes just because supposedly the Bush administration, you know, attacked Iraq. That doesn't mean I'm going to support the Democratic Party for this nonsense.
Oh, they're all in it together. The Democratic Party worked with Bush. We were all against that. But I was against the last two wars there. Now my gut tells me they could highway of death all those al-Qaeda forces and save Iraq. But see, they're not. They're going to let the full civil war go.
Yeah, I agree. It's crazy. They're doing drone strikes in Yemen, drone strikes in Pakistan, drone strikes everywhere. And I'm not necessarily for that. But then you've got whole convoys of ISIS riding out in the open, 30, 40, 50 cars in a row, and nothing happens. And they're just being allowed to take over Iraq.
Oh, it's more. You're a great caller, very informed. I've seen some videos that looks like 500 vehicles. It just goes off into the distance. And then Obama's like, I got to go golfing. And again, that's because it's Saudi Arabia. I am so sick of Saudi Arabian leadership. God bless you. Appreciate the call. Great points. Chad in California, go ahead. You're on the air.
Hi, guys. Yeah, we definitely need to just, they were saying that we have nothing to do there. We just need to leave and just admit our mistake. We shouldn't have been there like everybody. Like
but see, but I agree with you, except this is Western-backed. This is an al-Qaeda army. So, see, I'm always against what the globalists want. They want open borders, I'm against it. They want gun control, I'm against it. They want to let al-Qaeda run rampant, I want to bomb them. And I'm not saying do that. I'm just saying you see my gut response, right?
I see it, but I'm also going to comment a little bit that you're not going to like. I am definitely a constitutionalist, and I've read the Constitution, and my first thing is the United States, and let me finish the whole thought. The United States has no right to say who can or can't come in. Yes, open borders. I'm saying open borders. What the Constitution does allow is the people who come here need to be taxed higher. Now, let's figure,
General, what do you think about the FBI saying that there's a terror alert on Monday about a potential Fort Hood situation?
The police are shoving people, shoving Alex, shoving the crowd.
Here we go, folks. I'm being assaulted.
Whether it's the radio show, the news websites, documentary films, or the nightly news, InfoWars is the tip of the spear.
Is this another false flag stage attack to take our civil liberties and put more homeland security while sticking their hands down on the pants on the streets?
It's up to us to set brush fires in the minds of men and women everywhere. And that's what PrisonPlanet.tv is designed to do.
You watch, the Assad regime is going to be blamed or accused of using chemical weapons against the so-called rebels.
What we see now is a war against reality. It's a war against the truth.
It's more vital than ever that supporters of freedom become members of PrisonPlanet.tv and share their membership with up to 11 friends and family. Visit InfoWarsNews.com today. Become a member, share your membership, and help take the InfoWar to the next level. Obama administration, the New York Times reports, wants to monitor your smartphone in real time to make sure you're not looking at map aids like Google Maps while you're driving to keep you safe. And the New York Times, of course, misses it on purpose. The whole point is they want to monitor and control the internet and regulate it in real time, which is how they put the camel's nose under the tent flap. Agency aims to regulate map aids in vehicles. I'm going to do some overdrive callers, so we'll get to all of you that are holding. I'm going to go back to that caller on the Constitution point here in just a second. There are a lot of key articles up on Infowars.com that I hardly ever even talk about. War industry stands to make billions off ISIS threat. Church group ships illegals deeper into U.S. Right now we're posting videos the guy just shot with the church confirming it is illegals they're shipping. So that's confirmed, folks. We're going to have that video added to the Drudge Report linked article. Rampaging jihadists killed dozens in Kenya. Just all part of the Saudi Arabian funded as usual. It's lobbyist. Boko Haram on the western side in Nigeria. They're just everywhere. It's their takeover. Ron Paul says, haven't we done enough damage in Iraq? That's the plan. U.S. embassy workers are evacuating the giant embassies so Al-Qaeda can take it over. It's truly mind-blowing. Also, inventing terrorists. New study reveals FBI set up terrorism-related prosecutions. Totally manufactured. That's what RT's reporting. That's up on prisonplanet.com and Infowars.com. And remember, the system doesn't want you hearing this show. They don't want you being aware of this information. It's all hiding in plain view now. I have hope we can turn this around, and I believe we can. I believe we can. It's just that if we don't, it means curtains for this nation and this world. Briefly, this hour was brought to you by MyPatriotSupply.com/Alex. Great deals on high-quality, non-GMO, storable foods, and a lot of other preparedness items. Check them out today. MyPatriotSupply.com/Alex to find the specials. And they have great customer service. Give them a call, 866-229-0927. MyPatriotSupply.com/Alex. All right, Chad, we're going to go to you and finish up this hour. Then Pamela, Skip, Albert, and Jack. Ooh, Jack's in Australia. I hadn't seen that. We'll go to Jack as well. Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. Jack jump over the candlestick. Let's go ahead now. And now Jack can call from Australia. That's high tech. Let's talk to Chad in California. All right, make your constitutional point. Where does it say in the Constitution that anyone that can get here is legal?
Well, let me finish up my point real fast, and I will go to it. It is Section 9. Basically, the thing that you pointed out, yes, they're doing it to bankrupt us. Well, we need to stop that part. That's the problem, not the fact that people are coming here. It's the fact that not even citizens should have a social welfare system set up. This needs to be abolished. This is what people are upset about. Don't give people anything to come here. Work hard, do your thing, make the payments.
No, I mean, it's true. I mean, it's like going out and feeding the deer in your backyard. Soon there'll be a lot more deer than there should be, and then they'll all be starving to death, and you'll be feeding them 100 pounds a week of deer feed. It's the same deal, but we're way past that now. The whole world is collapsing right now financially. The population's doubling in the third world. They all want to come here. We cannot allow that to happen at this point because they're using the loophole in the socialism. Now, tell me what's in Article 9?
The migration or importation of such persons as of the United States now existing shall think proper or to omit shall be prohibited by Congress prior to the year of 1880. But a tax duty put on persons, a tax or duty may be imposed on the importation not exceeding $10 per person.
Pamela in Tennessee, thanks for holding her on the air worldwide. Go ahead. We'll go to Jack in Australia.
Yes, Alex, I want to say that I'll send out my username and password to as many as people that I can that I'm in contact with.
You're talking about you're sharing your PrisonPlanet.tv membership. Fantastic.
And there have been several people that have told me, I started watching him, and I mean, he has conviction in his heart. And, it makes me so proud that you do, and you found your purpose. And you pray to God for what is my purpose. And you've done that. And so... Well,
that's why I get exhausted, though, is my will is set against these people. But it's like you try to pick up a 500-pound weight and do it and pull your back out. It's like a horse that'll work itself to death because It wants to haul coal so hard that is the problem, is that I can't quit thinking about it. I can't quit fighting it. I need to somehow learn how to turn it off. Do you see what I'm saying? Because then if you're going too hard, you're not going to be doing a good job anyways. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, but see, God is in control. Really, overall, he is in control. And everything that is happening for a purpose and a reason. And all believers that believe in God, the God of Abraham, me and my mom have had discussions out on the patio. And, we talk about Abraham and how Ishmael, how that all came about, and that a lot of the conflict that is going on over there is because of Ishmael. And that broke off the line, his descendants.
It's all the same. And the Bible said they would have enmity.
Yeah. So, and I'm talking to a woman that when I bring up your name or your show, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. And she would run off. But now we can sit there, have intelligent conversation. She has been a diehard Democrat. And I tell you what, I have never heard her say anything about Obama, but like the last 2 or 3 times we've talked, hey, she's very disappointed in Obama. And it just amazed me because I'm telling you, this woman was die-hard Democrat. So, hey, you're waking up a lot of people, but God's waking up a lot of people, too. Same time
Oh, God's doing it all. I'm nobody. No, I hear you're a sweetheart, Pamela. Thank you. Jack in Australia, you're on the air. Thanks for holding.
Hello, Alex. Nice to speak with you. First of all, I'd like to start off with an apology to you, Alex. I, for many years, thought that you were a loon, and now I actually have said so on my radio show. I've been doing an online radio show around the world, and I also work part-time as an online producer for America Tonight with Kate Delaney, which is on the GCN network as well. But I've been trying to immigrate to the United States for many years. That's where my work is. What really caught my interest is this whole thing with the illegals coming over the border. Now, for many years, I've been trying to do it the right way. I've stood in line. I have employable skills. Here I am.
No, you should get on an airplane, say you're on vacation, fly here, and you can stay. And you know what? I don't care if you come here illegally and don't get welfare. Come on. I mean, that's my issue. I don't care if you're from Mexico or even, Australia, wherever. You want to come here and work. The thing is, they get here and get put on welfare. I'm doing another segment of Overdrive. Don't hang up, Jack. I'm going to come back. The stereotype of Americans being lazy now is accurate. That doesn't mean everybody or even a majority, but a large portion of white people, Hispanics, blacks, you name it. I can't want to be stereotypical, but I can't really say Asians. But I guess I'm sure there's lazy Asian kids out there as well. Raised on TV, raised on the culture, are just lazy and entitled and trendy. So, I mean, I see the way Mexican workers work. And, I mean, they work hard, folks, on average. But I see poor blue-collar white people, black folks that work just as hard. It's just that they're in the system if they're a Hispanic American or black American or white American, or half the kids out there are mixed nowadays. I don't know what they're going to do soon when most of the kids are Hispanic, white, black, white, everything else. I mean, literally, it's all this balkanization. But if you're in the system, paying taxes, getting the insurance, you can't go get the job that the illegals have got. Used to, painters got paid enough to live decent. You don't now. Or carpenters. My dad put himself a lot through college, as a carpenter. You can't make that kind of money nowadays. My dad knew how to make cabinets. He can make a lot of money in cabinetry shops. He'd go work a few days a week in those and a few days a week on the railroad and make enough money. But those high-paying jobs for blue-collar folks are gone. And then the expenses are off the chart, and there's just more illegals flooding, which will bring us down to third world level, which is what the big banks want. They want you poor. I wish Mexico was like Switzerland, and I was battling to get in. But it's not. I want more free countries, more wealthy countries. I'll be honest, I'm sick of the United States. And I know why these folks are sick of their countries. They're hellholes. They want to come up here. And here's the thing. There are a lot of people in Mexico or other countries that have it good in their little community, their little town, their little tourist trap, their little, whatever. They're the ones that don't want to come here. The people that want to come here are the ones that don't have a pot to pee in. Let's go back to Jack in Australia. So, Jack, yeah, I've talked to people, medical doctors from Europe, people from Eastern Europe, folks from Asia that, that have skilled stuff. It doesn't matter. If you're skilled, try to go the regular route. It's very hard to get in. Or if you try to do it legally, it's hard to get in. But if you just do it illegally, then it's okay. And the Democratic Party particularly is making a ton of money off the immigration lawyers, off all of it in the border states, and off all the other rackets. And the Republican leadership wants the cheap labor. So I don't know how this ends other than the country collapsing. What do you think?
Well, the thing is, Alex, from what I've seen is unless you are Latino in origin, then the law only, the DREAM Act and everything like that only seems to apply to people of an Hispanic heritage.
Why do you think that's the case? Why do you think that's the case?
Asian like myself, someone who is self-employed, Christian background. I served 10 years in the Australian military. A God-fearing small business owner. It seems like under this administration, you're undesirable in the United States. I can't do the sort of talk radio that I do and like you do in Australia because there are laws on the books that get in the way of free speech for broadcasters in Australia.
No, I know. You have a fairness doctrine there. I'm aware of that. But internet radio is circumventing that, and Australians, I know, are starting to wake up. I talked to a lot of them. But look, what's happening is multifaceted. Liberation communist ideology was put into Mexico and the rest of Central and South America in the last 60 years. It's on record. So that all opposition to the right-wing juntas is only communist in nature. So the globalists know how to manage socialist immigrants. They have deals with Western countries that don't want to see their tax base flee like they've done. Like Sean Connery, fled England for decades when he was making a bunch of money because they had a 70% tax rate federal. It's been lowered since he came back. They have deals to make it hard for Americans to get out too, bro. If you're black, white, I don't care. You got money. They've been passing laws and regulations to make it hard for you to get out as well. So it's beyond really that you're white. It's about the fact you're a tax base, and they don't want skilled people being able to get out. They only want poor to be able to come in. And so that's what's happening. But if I was you, I'd do a YouTube show on it, and I would just, hammer on that. I would call it, I'm a prisoner or a prisoner of Australia, and just explain. Because, again, you want working people to be able to move easy because then it creates competition between the countries for skilled labor like Switzerland. And they're an extreme. I mean, it's the hardest country to get into probably in the world. And it's so, off the charts that who knows if you want to live there. It's so expensive. But that's the model of only letting people that have something to offer in. Then it becomes literally like heaven. Switzerland's just ultra gorgeous, ultra beautiful, ultra low crime. Everybody's got guns versus what we've become. And it's just an example of what dependency does. I appreciate your call. Skip in Florida. Skip, thanks for holding. You're on the air.
Hello, Alex.
Hey, buddy.
I've been waiting to talk to you for a while.
Well, good to have you on, brother. The wait is over.
Well, I think we ought to fuel up Air Force One and load all the Obama administration, send them right over there with their swords and guns, and tell them to start working on the Second Amendment over there.
Well, I want to say this about elites. No one in history would follow elites that didn't fight. There were all sorts of dictators, all sorts of kings, all sorts of corrupt groups. But until about 150, 200 years ago, if you didn't put the king or at least his sons on the front line, and kings almost always lost their sons, while they're trying to have like 6 or 7 of them. If you didn't have family members die in a war, you were overthrown. Only now in the modern age do elites march people off to war and their kids aren't in the game. So absolutely, I love all these warmongers. Most of the neocons never were in the military, and they want to have all these wars. What do you think of that?
I think it was their idea. They should start them.
No, I agree. I mean, there's nothing worse than some smart mouth who's never been in a fight starting fights. Let me tell you something. You've been in some real fights. You don't want to start anymore. You know, because, I mean, you know, fighting as an adult male is dangerous. It hurts bad. And you know, there's so many people want to be tough guys, write checks their mouths can't cash. Their mouths write checks their bodies can't cash. And it's a scary situation. And that's why some people now shoot each other. Even though overall shootings are down, there's still the case where somebody starts a fist fight, starts losing, they pull a gun. And it's because they thought something else was going to happen in this fight they got into. Great points. I appreciate your call, Skip. Let's talk to Albert in FEMA Region 10. I guess you're out on the former West Coast. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex, how you doing today?
Doing all right, brother.
I just wanted to give you a little prediction here that I see about this immigration thing. You're going to have these mass populations popping up all over the places in a lot of the major cities and whatnot, and you're going to see gang violence and drugs escalate to an exponential proportion. You know, you got to realize, remember a couple weeks ago you had that deal about the Border Patrol and the threats on the billboards and things like that from the cartels down in Mexico. Well, I believe that a lot of these immigrants are actually going to be mules for them and distributors for them, and Obama's allowing them in and going down.
No, sir, that's actually already in the intelligence reports being put up by different federal agencies. We saw those last week, that this fog of hundreds of thousands of people pouring across extra is a perfect fog for the mules. And people say, oh, well, so what? It's drugs, you know, decriminalized. Yeah, to shut off the criminals making the money. But while it's still illegal, you got to stop them down there because they're the suppliers and they're involved in kidnapping. I mean, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, my God, I am scared to go to Mexico now, folks. And it's a beautiful country. There's a State Department warning on it. Mexico has collapsed. And it's who was the state senator we had on 2 years ago with the Pentagon prediction that Mexico would collapse within 2 years? I had the state senator on that exposed it. Turned out there's a secret plan with the Texas Guard to try to stop it if the feds won't. We could see the whole border collapse. Look, this is just the beginning. If Obama legalizes these illegals that are pouring across, what's going to happen? It's going to bring even bigger floods.
That too, but also you're going to see such an escalation in gang violence, Alex. It's just going to be off the hook with gang violence. That's going to justify the militarization of the police force.
Which will be the false flag. No, I hear you. No, that's it. That's why the globalists get more power. The worse things get, the more power they get. Used to, if something happened bad on your watch, you had to resign or you went to jail. In America, when FEMA didn't help in Katrina, they got double the funding. When we get attacked by Saudi Arabia, we attack Iraq. If you believe the official story. Great points. Bob, we got a minute and a half left. Sorry to Ken and everybody else. I'm out of time. Bob, last caller. Go ahead.
Great. I just want to make a couple of points, Alex. I don't know if you've ever heard Milton Friedman talk about immigration, but I don't care if they open the borders, let everybody in, but you don't get benefits, okay? I mean,
No, that's it. Exactly. Immigration's a good thing if the people don't get benefits.
Right. It controls the motivation factor. Are you coming here for opportunity and freedom, or are you coming here for benefits? That tells you it right away. Another thing is these illegal aliens would be a great way to introduce a bioweapon. Thanks, Alex.
Really good points. We got time to go to Reggie now. Reggie, you got 45 seconds. Go ahead.
Great day to introduce a bioweapon. Thanks, Alex.
Reggie's listening to the radio. Ken in Nevada, go ahead.
Hey, Alex, long-time listener, first-time caller.
Welcome.
Here's my point. We got a lot of problems with this country, but here's the main thing. You know, if you go to another country and you want to go and work, you got to show papers, documentation, why and how come you're there. Our country, we just let it wide open, and nobody wants to address the problem. Congress, Senate, oh, we got to give these poor people all these different...
and citizens have to pay for it, and it's unskilled workers and kids coming in. It's the worst type of immigrants, period. Criminals, you name it. I mean, it's Cloward and Bevan, folks. I mean, they're funding Al-Qaeda to kill Christians right now.
You are watching the best of the Alex Jones Show, weekdays from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central. Watch live at Infowars.com/show or become a member of InfoWarsNews.com and help us take resistance to the next level.